So you had a lot going on here. You're married. You trying to start your business. You got all these things going on at the literally at the same time. So what was the most challenging part of that phase of your life?
Yeah. While in the beginning stages of both my marriage and starting my business, Royal Physique, um, 2017 came and probably was the worst year of my life.
Mm.
Yeah. My father was murdered in March. My brother went to prison. Went to jail. He didn't go to prison. He went to jail, and my mom was facing eviction. And then later that year, hurricane, I believe it's Hurricane Ike, kind of came through Houston and kind of tore everything up and messed up my wife's family, my family's home, kind of setting a lot of things back. But even through that season, it was me looking at myself in the mirror, asking myself, am I gonna let this break me?
Today we have a special guest. Not only is this man a successful personal trainer who's grown his company, Royal Physique's team of instructors, to span across some of the multiple facets of health and wellness, he's also responsible for curating some of Atlanta's most attended group boot camps and fitness classes, while at the same time scaling his cleaning company, Premium Rents. But the most impressive part about this man, if you were to ask him, is none of those businesses. It is being a father and a husband. So without further ado, allow me to introduce to you my good friend, Brother La King. What's up, La?
What's going on?
Man, I'm glad to have you here, man. This is a kind of an exciting time for me to finally get you pinned down to have this conversation. So, in the introduction, I talked about your company. Tell me a little bit about Royal Physique.
Absolutely. So Royal Physique is a health and wellness company. It came from trying to touch every scope of wellness, as well as try to touch as many people as I can throughout the community, especially the Black and Brown community. It's important that we know that our health is what dominates and what helps carry us through life. We're so quick to uh, pick up a bottle or go to drugs that if we can start prioritizing and lifting weights, going for a run, having a mental health conversation, that can carry a lot of weight in itself.
Yeah. I know one thing, when I first met you, I could tell that you was in good shape. So just by the way you walked in. How long have you been a trainer?
Yeah, so since 2016, so that's a little over 10 years.
Oh, wow. And how long have you been in Atlanta, Georgia?
I've been in Atlanta since 2015. 2015, I moved to Atlanta. Not a trainer, just chasing after football, trying to live a dream, go after a dream.
Okay. And where did you come from?
So originally born and raised in New York, Albany, New York.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Then moved to Houston, Texas, and that was a journey in itself. I left my mom when I was 13
Oh,
to do
wow.
that. Yeah. So that's a whole nother spiel.
Wait a minute. So you left your mom at 13, but you came out of Albany, New York.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you in Albany, New York?
It was tough. Um, by the time I was in eighth grade, I've been stabbed 5 times.
Oh,
Um, my mom being a single mother, trying to raise two boys to become men,
mm.
and in an environment that was like poison almost, right? Everywhere you go, everywhere you turn is either selling drugs, fighting, stealing, all the things just to get by, almost to a point where it just felt normal.
So how was your relationship with your mother and father? Because you said you left at 13.
Yeah.
So, okay, so now something happened here. What?
Yeah,
Help me
yeah.
understand that.
Absolutely. So, um, where do I start? Um, so my father, he was a big time drug dealer in New York, um, and a lot of people, glorified it,
Mm.
right? But for me, when it came to my mom, I seen how one, it always kept her uneasy, as well as just kind of worried about what's next, or
Mm.
you know, is he coming home, kind of a thing. But also, my dad, he meant well, I will say, but he also thrived and loved attention,
Mm.
right? So sometimes he would make choices that may not be the best in terms of doing things, So all that to say, it led me to, my mom kind of breaking up with my dad and us kind of being on our own. But the last time I got stabbed, I was like, okay, cool. If I go to high school out here, I'm either gonna die or go to jail.
Mm.
So I had my first summer job, and we left to. No, I got my first summer job, and I saved up all my checks.
Mm.
Said, and I told my mom, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna move to Houston because I had a cousin out there and my aunt."
And how'd your mom feel about that when you
Oh
told
man,
her?
it broke her heart, but she also knew that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, because that now
Yeah.
you have a brother. Is he older or younger than you?
Yeah, he's younger than me.
So was he following after your behavior, your footsteps?
Nah, so my brother, he really, how would I say it? So my brother, one, he really looked up to my dad,
Mm.
right? So when it came to like it, taking in like
Mm-hmm.
the tough guy, I'm the man kind of mentality, my brother loved that and kind of thrived in it and kind of sat
Mm.
in it. As for me, I had it, but I never enjoyed it. Right?
Mm.
It was one thing where it was like, I guess this is what I got to do because this is kind of what we do as a family. Not like, oh, I can't wait to wake up. It was almost like each day you're waking up in a mentality of
Mm-hmm.
who's next, kind of a thing, and it wasn't healthy.
So this is interesting. So at 13, you have your younger brother who's kind of emulating your father
Hmm.
in many instances. You had all these, but now there's a gap here. This powerful thing. You ended up in college.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so so how did that happen? Because this is a powerful story. You're going from college to becoming a father and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
these. So
yeah,
we got to understand this transformation. So 5 times being stabbed,
yeah,
brother emulating dad, mom handling it for you, handling it and holding it down.
yeah.
So how did we get to college?
Sports. I got introduced to sports when I got into high school. Like I looked up to my cousin, um, and he always was just good, just
Mm,
naturally good. And I
mm,
always wanted to just kind of be like him. He taught me, how to dress, how to get girls, and I always knew like that's who I was, right?
mm.
I wanted to be more of the smooth cat rather than the gangster,
Okay.
right? So that was my thing, and yeah, man, I got introduced to sports, and sports kind of transitioned a lot of things, whether it was my attitude. I was playing football.
Mm,
So, I was able to kind of do well in it, which then carried me into wanting to pursue it on the next level and have an opportunity to do so. So then I was able to go to Lamar University
okay.
and play football there, which also, helped me to grow up because going into going into college, I mean, I still kind of had I was barely cutting it, right?
Mm.
I was still like, man, I'm not studying. I
Are
don't
you was you
study.
was you more of like an average student?
Average, I was below average. I was below average. I think my looks and my athleticism got me by.
Okay.
you know?
Well, whatever God give you, you use that to make it work to your advantage. Now, let me ask you something. So, when you were in college, how was the support? Did you get it from your mom and
Um,
dad? How what was that like?
Yeah, so I mean, my dad still wasn't quite in the picture at this time yet. I kind of fell off with my pops going through that transition. There was a lot that I had built up, animosity I had built up towards
Mm.
him. Just
What was
because,
the source of that animosity?
well, I was just, my mom meant so much to me,
Mm.
means so much to me, right? To the point where she, like, it was okay. So this was kind of like the final straw for me. It was a winter. It was a winter time. We were staying in this. It was nice. It was a nice
Mm.
apartment in New York, and the lights went out and it was
Mm,
freezing, right?
mm,
But however, apparently, you know, my dad was supposed to have this money, give it to my mom so she could take care of all the bills and whatnot, but he decided he went out and go party and do all the
mm,
extra stuff and buy clothes and all the things, but it left us cold, right? But my mom decided to move into a shelter. So we was
mm,
living in a shelter for a couple days, and I just remember like at night my mom would tuck like try put us down, try to make the most of the whole situation, but it's ugly. But I'm always been very observant,
mm.
and she'll go into the other room and you just hear her crying. You
That
know what I'm
did
saying?
something to you.
It hurt, because the person you care about most, is heartbroken and frustrated, and there's nothing you could do about it. And so having that kind of hit you
Mm.
as a kid, you don't want that. And then it's being stemmed from a man who could have made this a different situation but decided not to. That was heartbreaking.
That kind of stuck with you.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think, and I've always said this, I think that every man makes a personal, private promise to himself to be a better father than what his father was to him. I think even men who had great relationships with their father want to do better.
Hmm.
And every once in a while, what makes that possible is that somebody enters your life.
Yeah.
Someone that you didn't expect to enter your life that did something, created a new world. And so, now you're in college, you have this going on, and then you meet this young lady.
Yeah.
So
Oh
now
man.
what happened? How did this happen?
Ah.
And
Wow.
I'm saying that you have somebody stabbed 5 times, you got this anger, you have all this stuff here, and
Yeah.
then something enters your life.
Man, she was like a breath of fresh air, man. I mean, even at this time, though, she'll tell you herself, like, she wasn't messing with me. I was on a rampage of
Mm,
just women and attention and partying and feeling like the man. And, man, commitment or school was the last thing on my mind,
mm,
right? So it was kind of like she wasn't having it. But we became friends.
mm,
Um, but through our friendship, one, it led me closer to Christ, right? It's
mm.
crazy how it works, and we all have a story where, you know, how your journey is.
Yeah.
But in this particular moment, I'm wanting to show this girl, hey, I like you. So you go on to FCA, which is Fellowship for Christian
Okay.
Athletes.
Okay.
So, and she ran track. My wife ran track. And so, she's going to FCA, and I'm like, I'm going to FCA too, just to sit with her.
And did you get caught up?
No, hear me out. So I'm going to FCA to go see her, and eat pizza. We broke college kids, so you take a free meal whenever you can. And then it just got me into the word. It's like, bring them to the house and
Mm,
then let God do the rest. The
mm,
rest. And that's kind of how it worked, right? It was like, wow, now I'm seeking Christ for myself. I'm getting a deeper
mm,
understanding. And
mm,
then that also led to me wanting more and wanting different. I wanted peace. I wanted to feel loved, right? I wanted to get this anger off me
mm.
because it was still there, but and I wasn't dealing with it in the healthiest ways, right? Whether it was,
Kind of self-destructive.
yeah, well, yeah, drinking,
Mm,
fighting, and you're a grown man, right? And so you making these decisions to go out and be an animal essentially when you don't have to be, and you're supposed to be playing sports, so you got to fix it, right?
So, and she like a wild horse. She rode you on that, huh?
It took a second, so not necessarily. She was like, "Hey, um, I'm not trying to deal with you,
Mm,
but I do see you need help with school, right?"
mm.
So that's kind of how it started. So it started with her helping me with schoolwork.
So she refined. She she
Yeah, yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
refined her focus.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
trying to get me right. And then we actually had a huge break where, and again, we weren't dating we were just good friends, but rumors started getting caught up in school, right? I was doing my
Hmm.
dirt throughout
Hmm.
campus, and apparently a page was created. right? At this time, yeah, internet was crazy. So they had this page where, my wife's name got brought up on there, right? And it was like, it was just, yeah, it was not good. But I had nothing to do with it. And essentially it says like, this person sleeping around, this person sleeping around, whatever, whatever. And that wasn't her story at all, right? My wife,
Wow.
God fearing, very much into her books, very much, but because of her relationship with me and what someone may have seen or perceived, it got carried
They
away.
added to it.
Right. And then it came to her asking me, like, yo, you saying like you slept with me? You saying you doing these things? I said, nah, that's not me. I don't do that.
Mm.
And
That was our first test.
that was
Really?
well, yeah, exactly. And then so it carried on to the point where she was like, yo, I'm not being around you. I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't speak to you no more. All the things. So we went from having a connection, kicking it every single day. At some point or another, whether it was 5 minutes, an hour, whatever, to not saying a word. I mean, we walk right past each other and I say a word.
How long did that last?
It's about 6, 7 months.
Oh, wow.
Seriously.
So, but
Mhm.
somehow in the midst of this, you knew she was the one.
I knew it because even during that break is what made it for me
Mm.
because I was now seeking what I had with her, right? We were just sit, talk, listen to music. We'll just laugh about random things. We had great connection, great communication, but it wasn't that anymore. It was just like women wanting me, and then I had no substance, no depth, and I was just like, dog, I want that again, right?
So when she left you and when you all were no longer together, you kind of you realized that there was a void, there was a
Yeah,
piece.
absolutely.
Did you get the sense that within and this is interesting that I'm raising this because I think a lot of times when you find the right one,
Mhm.
sometimes or many times it's under some circumstance or some condition or some test
Yeah,
that comes about. So now you all get back connected.
yeah,
So here's my question.
yeah.
How did y'all get connected and how did it get to the next level? Because this is your wife now. So
Yeah, it's my
how did
wife.
you guys get reconnected and then get to the point where you going to ask for her hand in marriage?
So that was a journey too. I mean, my wife is extremely stubborn and set in her ways. When she feel a certain way, that's what it is,
Oh.
right? So God is still working on her heart till this day. We gonna pray on it. Um, nah, but so it took one. I was hanging out with her friends,
Mm.
right? Like just so I can stay in communication.
Hmm.
Then she got sick. It started with this. She got sick first, and I kept showing up for her. And I was just like, hey, let me get you some orange juice. Here goes some NyQuil.
Hmm.
Anything else you need? All right, cool. I'll be back, and then I can bring you up some dinner, some lunch, whatever. And this is at her dorm, and she's like accepting of it, but still standoffish.
Yeah.
But she then summer came. She then left to go to work at Camp Laconda
Okay.
up in New York. And during that summer, I was still friends with her friend, and I'm writing her letters and doing all
Mm.
that things. So her campers got to her mail,
Mm.
seeing the letters that I was writing. She was ignoring them apparently, and then she.
Now, I'm gonna interrupt you.
Yeah.
Let me just say this for some young people who are watching. I need y'all to realize and recognize the
Oh
persistence
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that this
Oh
man is
yeah.
put forth. He's not
I was
giving up.
dedicated. I was dedicated.
Right. So he's handling the nose, and it's one of the things that I always highlight that that rejection and that correction. If you can get through that, right? So now you're pushing.
Oh yeah.
And you're pushing. You're taking care of her. You had your issues with anger and all that, and she was there. Now it's reversed, and now she's sick,
Yeah.
and you're there. So I'm gonna speed this up a little bit
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I want to know about that point where you decided that you wanted to propose to this woman.
Man. Sass, that's her name, Seychelles. Sass was the first person I felt that loved me unconditionally,
Mm.
never judged me for the man I was. or who I was, right? Not that she agreed with it, but she never held it against me,
Mm.
right? And that was important. And I always knew, like, and this woman makes me better, makes me want to be
Mm.
better.
Mm.
So much so that I felt like I couldn't even propose to her unless I had a degree.
Oh, wow.
So it made me lock in on school kind of
Wow.
thing, right?
So now this woman
Yeah.
here, then to get her, you recognize now you even have to get yourself together
It's a certain
academically.
standard. She has a standard that and the expectation that she's holding, and I want to be able to meet her there,
Mm.
right? Uh, I never wanted her to feel like she had to lessen herself or dim her light to be by my side, but
Mm.
let me shine brighter so we can shine together, kind of a thing.
You know, something I love what you said is that this woman not only made you better, but made you want to be better.
Yeah.
Wow. So now tell me about you. You proposed to her. You got your degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. You made it through.
Yes, sir.
How did you propose to her?
Yeah. Proposed to her at graduation, right?
You mean at your
At my
graduation?
graduation, at my
You mean like
college
you walked across
graduation.
the stage?
I walked across
Oh,
that
okay.
stage.
All
I
right.
set it up. I mean, so it's funny. I told you she was helping me with my work.
Okay.
She was all through college, whether she was revising it or
Okay.
reading it over, making sure it was appropriate.
My wife did that to
Yeah.
me too. So yeah, I got you.
But in my senior year, I never let her see any of my work.
Ah.
Yeah, so she finished a year before me, but I never let her see any of my work. And she's like, "Are you sure you're okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it." But the whole time, I had to write a whole lot of papers. But a lot of them were derived on how I'm about to propose to my wife.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm
So this became a
mixing it.
part. Wait, this became a part of your paper.
Yeah.
You know, I'm laughing as a professor because I can almost say, look at myself now. Now, what does this have to do with the political landscape?
You should have saw. I mean, I'm flipping it to make it make sense for psychology.
Okay.
I'm making it work for business ethics. I mean, I'm in it. And sure enough, she's like, "You sure you got?" I said, "I got it. I'm good." And through this time, I'm meeting with deans. I'm meeting with the president of the university. I'm meeting with the person who's over all of graduation.
commencement,
Yeah.
okay.
So, and they all giving me the green light.
Oh, so you ran that through all this?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so all right, keep it going.
Had
Keep
to
it
get the
going.
green light because
Right.
I wanted to do it right. And so as soon as I crossed stage, man, I mean, I shut it down. And I felt like it was only right to do it there. Again, I give a lot of the credit to her
Okay.
to making me want to be a better man and even finishing school. Because there was times I wanted to be done with it.
So this degree was hers too, in a way.
Oh, come on now.
I understand.
Yeah.
I
And
understand.
I really, man, she helped me through so much. Just wanting
So,
to be a better version of myself the whole time.
so you walked across the stage,
Yeah.
and did you do it on the stage or?
Yeah. So kind of on stage, but right at the end. But
Okay.
no one, I mean, it shut everything down for
Okay.
about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Seriously. So
I know the crowd went crazy,
I
didn't they?
feel bad for the person behind me. No one probably knows their name, right? But I proposed, and I mean, everybody is going crazy.
So she had to come up from the
Yeah.
audience.
So
onto
I had the person, the person over the graduation commission kind of like draft up this weird, fake award. Like, hey, he wants to make sure you present it to him. And she's like, "Why won't you let his mom do it?" And I told my mom, I said, "Mom, she gonna call you and tell you to do it."
You knew it.
My mom was in on it. Everybody knew. So I had it lined up. So sure enough, she was there at the end of the stage. I walked across. She was trying to hand me that paper. I threw it, and I got down on the knee.
And the crowd lost it.
Crowd lost it. Everybody was filming, so much so that, well, we didn't know because after graduation, the following day, me and all my friends and Sass, my now fiance, we had a cruise.
Okay.
No internet, and Ellen was trying to reach out to us to get
Ellen DeGeneres?
Ellen DeGeneres.
What?
Yeah, so she wanted to get us on her show. We had no idea. Family going crazy, trying to get in contact with us. And we missed out on it, but it is what it is. I mean, we are married now. We have a beautiful daughter.
Okay, so you had a lot going on here. You're married. You trying to start your business. You got all these things going on literally at the same time. So, what was the most challenging part of that phase of your life?
Yeah. So while in the beginning stages of both my marriage and starting my business, Royal Physique, um, 2017 came and probably was the worst year of my life.
Mm,
Yeah, my father was murdered in March. My brother went to prison. Went to jail. He didn't go to prison. He went to jail, and my mom was facing eviction. And then later that year, a hurricane, I believe it's Hurricane Ike, kind of came through Houston and kind of tore everything up and
mm,
messed up my wife's family, my family's home, kind of setting a lot of things back. But even through that season, it was me looking at myself in the mirror, asking myself, "Am I gonna let this break me?
mm.
Um, what kind of man?" And it was like a real mm, coming to self moment, right? Where it was like, okay, you can either fold and let everything you try to build fall to the wayside, or you can hone it in and let that fuel you to where you want to be and what you want things to become.
So what was that turning piece, that turning point
Yeah.
that helped you decide the route to take?
And truly it was a me and God moment. My wife was always there, but it kind of was like it's nothing no one can say or do to help you in that moment.
Mm,
It was kind of really having a self-reflection of like, they say you can either fold or you can rise to the occasion right now. What you gonna do? And I'm having these talks. I was
mm.
heavy on self-motivation. Um, and that was one of the realest moments because I was broken in every way.
Mhm.
I felt heavy. I felt like I had nothing to give, but I still had to muster up something to give. Especially, as a personal trainer, it's not about you. People are paying you for a service. They're not asking you how you feeling. They're not
Mhm.
asking you. Um,
Because it's your job to
yeah,
make them feel better.
exactly.
Mm,
So it was kind of tucking my what I was dealing with to service someone else to make sure things still running smoothly.
mm.
And I got through it, but getting through that propelled everything.
What do you mean?
So I think I think that was God saying, "What you gonna do?" And in that moment, things like I was on a panel. I then got a contract opportunity with Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm then in rooms that I never thought I could be
Mm,
in. I'm having conversations with execs who want my services. I'm now moving into a high-end, high-rise apartment, not having to pay for it because they want my services. I got
mm.
other companies reaching out to me saying, "Hey, see you doing this thing over here. Would love to have you over here. Would love to have a meeting." So things began to scale fast
From
because
that pit of
from
chaos.
that pit of chaos, because I chose not to be in it.
Mm.
And I mean, and it wasn't hard. I mean, it literally was knocking on my door.
And how did your wife kind of support you in that?
Yeah. So I mean, first of all, we both were extremely happy, right?
Mm.
We've come from a space of,
To get that call, huh?
yeah, well, coming from a space of turmoil and then still struggling financially. I couldn't afford $500 worth of rent. I was late
Mhm.
each month, to then having business knocking at your door, right? And having the opportunity to turn it down. And I mean, of course, obviously not, but yeah, now you're able to say, okay, the ball's in my court. Let me dribble. Let's do it. And being able to balance it all and set ourselves up to now what was once feeling heavy and loathful to now being um, a chance to just breathe and experience life and actually enjoy marriage and actually do things.
So that was ultimately your test.
Yeah.
So you propose, the wedding come, and you find out now that she's expecting. What was that like for you?
So she held it from me. It was, first of all, she told me she was pregnant on Easter,
Okay.
but she knew she was pregnant since the week after Valentine's Day.
Okay. Well, there's Valentine's Day. All right.
Right.
Okay.
So she was holding it because she knew it can't hold water, right? So we had a lot of different events with family,
Okay.
and she didn't want to tell me yet, so she's holding it to herself. So in one part of, I'm like, dang, you didn't have to hold that kind of
Yeah.
information. I don't know what you were battling with or dealing with. Um,
Or she said, you can't hold water. That's what she was
right,
doing.
right, right. But at the same time, it's her first time
Yeah.
too, so she's like, man, I'm sure she had all kind of emotions. Um, but when she told me on Easter, man, couldn't believe it. So how she did it was she did an Easter egg hunt throughout the
Hmm.
house. She's like, go find these eggs. I was like, okay. So I'm finding eggs. They got little gifts in it and
So she
stuff.
got skills too then.
Oh,
Okay.
she's cold.
Okay.
She's cold. Uh, then she was like, did you find the golden egg? I said, a golden egg? No, and I find it eventually, and it's like a paper. Say, go to your iPad. I go to my iPad, and it's a whole video. It's an entire video of how she was holding the secret right in front of me.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
she got video clips of me saying, "Oh, that's my baby in there. That's my
Oh
baby
wow.
in there," and she's like, but she really is pregnant, and I had no
Wow.
idea, right?
Wow.
Then she had clips of like her acting sick but being completely fine. Oh man, she dragged us through it, and it was phenomenal. So
So you
started tearing up. It was good.
I can imagine now. You think about your own father and that experience, and
Mhm.
now in that moment, you become a father,
Yes,
and you found out it was a girl,
yes.
right? So now you got this
We didn't
baby
find out it was a girl till she was born.
until oh you
Yeah,
held
yeah,
it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
did good.
We
I found out my wife didn't want to know, so I kept it the whole time. Now
okay.
don't ask me how in the hell I did that, but I did.
Okay.
So y'all found out at the same time that
Yes.
she was born. It was a girl.
Yeah.
So now,
Mhm.
what is it like being a father of a daughter?
Man, I thought I really wanted a son, but I think I was completely wrong. My daughter has softened me in the
Mm,
best of ways,
mm,
right? Um, it challenged me to already like want to make sure things are aligned and that she never will have to want or need for anything. I mean, it makes you think like it's not about you anymore, right?
mm.
Like I'm setting up custodial accounts,
Ooh,
529 accounts,
oh,
making sure
beautiful.
she's set up that in a way that in which I never thought I could, like I never had, and I just want to make sure she never has to experience what I had to experience.
Because that was going to be my next question was,
Mhm.
becoming a father, did that make you view your own, did you find yourself from time to time going back and looking at your own father? Is this that moment that you're doing these things now to ensure that your daughter has a different experience?
Yeah, so I don't fault my parents on that side of it, just because knowledge wasn't. I would say the knowledge that we have, the way we can get knowledge now isn't the same as it was back then, and they did their best. So right now it's more so like understanding and having the means to do so.
Mm,
Now it's like, okay, so do it and do it right. It's not about you anymore. It's not about how you look. It's not about what you're wearing. It's about
mm,
legacy. It's about making sure the people
mm.
that you're bringing up can make this world better when you leave it.
That's powerful. So my last question here is that if you could sit yourself down and talk to the younger you,
Mhm.
before you were a husband, before a father, before the royal physique, before all these things, if you could sit down and have a conversation with the younger you, knowing what you know, but the younger you that know that,
Yeah.
what would you say to the younger you?
Mm. I would probably say trust yourself.
Mm,
I have a lot of moments, and I think it was the Holy Spirit, but I had a lot of moments where I knew I wasn't, something felt off. And if I
mm,
still didn't listen to it, something bad always happened. But when I
mm,
did listen to it, something great always came from it.
mm,
The same thing came when I talk about leaving my mom as a young age. I never felt that before. But when I did, it was probably the best decision because I got my mom out of New York, got my brother out of New York,
mm,
got them doing much better in life.
mm,
It was a moment, it was multiple times leaving Texas to come to Atlanta, not really knowing what that journey was going to lead to. But here we are now where we have thriving businesses, we have a healthy marriage, we have a beautiful daughter. It's just, so even as a kid, trust yourself. I had a lot of thoughts and ideas that I remember um, coming across my mind, but thinking it was crazy because I was thinking outside the box.
Mm.
But that could have been something special, right?
That's beautiful. And I'm going to tell you, I celebrate you. I celebrate, from a spiritual standpoint that, how God moved in your life, moved through you. And I celebrate the fact that, in your testimony, as you look back to this woman, this college student,
Yeah,
this person who entered your life. And again, I love it because she made you better and she made you want to be better. And that's really what we try to seek in building strong families and building strong communities, that, we do those things to make us better. So
absolutely.
I want to thank you for
Yeah.
coming in and just celebrate you as a father, your
Yes.
business and all you do. And I just want to take this time and I just want to toast you.
I appreciate you, man.
Take care.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.